Not all oils are equal. Some you should use daily. Some just sit in your kitchen, doing quiet damage. One of them you're eating right now without knowing it. Stay until the end. I'll tell you which one. Today I ranked 14 oils from best to worst. Let's get into it. Let's start. Walnut oil. If you watched my nut ranking, you know where this goes. Walnuts were the king, and walnut oil keeps the crown. The omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is among the best on this entire list. Good for your blood vessels, good for your eyesight. One of the most underrated oils out there, honestly. The downside? It oxidizes fast. Keep it in a dark bottle, away from heat. Got a nut allergy? Skip this one. A true champion. Moving on, sunflower oil. This sits in almost every kitchen on the planet. Cheap, available everywhere, tastes like nothing. And that's the problem. It's loaded with omega-6. Omega-3 calms inflammation. Omega-6 in excess does the opposite. Too much for too long, and you're setting yourself up for trouble. One workaround? Refined sunflower oil. For frying only. Never on your salad. Never raw. After frying, blot the excess off with a napkin. Vitamin E is the one real benefit here. That's about it. Not the worst choice. Far from the best. Next up, olive oil. It has a reputation, and this time it's earned. Loaded with polyphenols that improve insulin sensitivity, support brain function, support your blood vessels. Some research links regular use to lower cancer rates. This is the backbone of the Mediterranean diet for a reason. But here's what most people don't know. Storage matters a lot. Dark bottle, away from sunlight, in a cabinet, not on the counter. See a clear glass bottle? Don't buy it. No serious producer puts quality olive oil in clear glass. And it oxidizes. Once it tastes bitter, stop using it. One more thing. Fraud is a real issue. A significant share of Italian olive oil sold globally has been found to be adulterated in independent testing. For high-heat frying, the smoke point sits around 350 to 410 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on quality. Past that, it starts breaking down. Use it raw. Salads, drizzling, finishing a dish. One of the best on this list. Now, margarine. Not much to say here. It lasts forever on the shelf, sure. Some brands add synthetic vitamins just to put it on the label. Vitamin D, vitamin A. Sounds good. Means very little. The real problem is trans fats. Bad for your heart, your vessels, your brain. Worst choice on this list. Keep it off your counter. Let's keep going. Avocado oil. More premium than most, and the price reflects that. Rich in phytosterols, which support a lot of processes in your body. Some research shows it helps arterial elasticity and liver and gallbladder function. There's even data on faster skin healing when applied topically, though that's a different use. The downsides? The taste isn't for everyone, and because it's expensive, fakes are common. Check the label carefully. Very beneficial overall. Moving on. Soybean oil. Some phytosterols, a bit of vitamin K, mostly from fermented soy. That's about it for the good news. It contains compounds that mimic estrogen. For most healthy people, the effect on thyroid function is minimal, according to current research. But if you already have a thyroid condition, some studies do show a meaningful risk. Worth talking to your doctor. The omega-6 content is also high. Slightly better than margarine. That's the nicest thing I can say. Not a good choice. Next up, ghee. This one actually surprised me when I looked into it. Everyone online calls ghee a butyrate superfood. Here's the truth. Ghee is about 1% butyrate. That's nothing compared to what your own colon produces from fiber. If that's the only reason you're buying it, stop. But here's what actually makes ghee worth using. It has nearly double the short-chain fats of regular butter, and those metabolize differently. No lactose, no casein. If dairy usually bothers you, ghee often doesn't. High smoke point, too. Good for real cooking. One study from northern India found that people who cooked with ghee instead of seed oils ended up with better cholesterol numbers, lower LDL, higher HDL. Use it in moderation. It's still a saturated fat. But the hype isn't entirely wrong. There's something real here. Beneficial. Just not for the reason most people think. Next, flaxseed oil. On paper, this has more omega-3 than anything else on this list. Sounds perfect. Here's the catch. There are 3 main types of omega-3: ALA, EPA, and DHA. Flaxseed oil is almost entirely ALA, the weakest of the 3. Your body has to convert ALA into the more useful EPA and DHA, and that conversion is inefficient. Some research puts it at 4 to 6%. Most of the omega-3 in flaxseed oil never actually gets used, and it oxidizes fast. Open a fresh bottle, and within a week it can already taste rancid. Refrigerator, vacuum seal, all the tricks, and you might get 2 weeks. Cooking with it is completely off the table. The smoke point is too low. So yes, impressive numbers on the label. In practice, most of the benefit never reaches you. Beneficial, but only if you use it fast and store it right. Moving on. Palm oil. The most produced oil on the planet by a wide margin. Cheap, stable, replaces almost any fat in processed food. Crackers, cookies, instant noodles. There's technically a red palm variant with carotenoids and vitamin A, but it almost never makes it to regular shelves. The version you're actually eating has none of that. It's linked to arterial plaque buildup. It's pro-inflammatory, and it shows up in a long list of chronic disease research. Worst choice, right there with margarine. Next up, coconut oil. This one splits opinion more than almost anything else here. Lauric acid may support immune function in moderation, and some research suggests it helps with mineral absorption. A lot of chefs like it for high-heat cooking, but the saturated fat content is higher than butter, gram for gram. Even experts can't agree on this one. Acceptable, and better options exist for everyday use. Not a disaster, though. Let's keep going. Canola oil. Marketed as the responsible, heart-healthy choice, the omega ratio is actually decent, one of the better ones among seed oils, with lower saturated fat. That part of the reputation is earned. What the marketing doesn't mention, almost all canola oil sold today goes through heavy industrial refining, high heat, and chemical solvents, which strips out a lot of what made the original plant interesting. Not the villain people sometimes make it out to be online. Also, not the health food the label suggests. Acceptable. Fine for frying. Nothing more. Moving on. Cottonseed oil. This is the one I mentioned at the start. You're almost certainly eating it right now and don't know it. It has one of the highest smoke points on this list, which is exactly why fast food chains use it for deep frying. Chips, crackers, fried chicken, a huge share of processed snacks. The raw plant contains a toxic compound called gossypol, but commercial refining removes most of it, so the processed oil on the shelf isn't dangerous in that specific way. The bigger issue is the omega-6 content, over 50% of the total fat. Cotton also isn't officially classified as a food crop, which means it can legally be treated with higher pesticide loads than food crops are allowed. You're not buying a bottle of this for your kitchen, but you're eating it constantly, whether you realize it or not. Not a good choice, and the problem is how invisible it is. Almost there. Peanut oil. You watched my nut video. Peanuts landed dead last. Here's something most people get wrong about the oil, though. Highly refined peanut oil has almost no peanut protein left in it. The protein is what triggers allergic reactions, not the fat itself. One study put this directly to the test. 60 people with severe peanut allergies given refined peanut oil. 0 reactions. So if a restaurant fries in refined peanut oil, most allergic people are actually fine. The real danger is cold-pressed or unrefined peanut oil. That still has the protein. Beyond allergies, the omega-6 content is high, same as the nut. Tastes good, I'll give it that, but if you have another option, take it. Not a great choice overall. Last one. Tail fat. Kurdyuk. Most of you have never heard of this. It comes from fat-tailed sheep raised across Central Asia, the Caucasus, and parts of the Middle East. The fat renders down from the tail and lower spine. Here's what surprised me when I looked at the research. Tail fat has a higher percentage of unsaturated fat than other fat deposits from the same animal. More than the kidney fat, more than the visceral fat. That's not what you'd expect from sheep fat. It also has a low melting point, so the body absorbs it relatively quickly. I grew up eating this. It goes into the rice, the dumplings, the stew. It carried whole communities through harsh winters, stored specifically for that. The downside? It's still heavily saturated fat overall, so moderation matters. And the smell when you render it down is intense. Not for everyone, but nutritionally, it's more interesting than its reputation outside this region suggests. Good, and almost nobody takes it seriously yet. That's the full ranking. If you remember just one thing, cottonseed oil, you're probably eating it without even knowing. So which oil do you cook with? Drop it in the comments. And the next one might surprise you. I ranked every sauce and dressing from healthiest to worst. One result I genuinely didn't see coming. It's on screen now. Go watch.